Walmart doesn't want a woman president.
What?
Or at least that's the clickbait title I went with.
Okay.
The truth is, they at one point made some decisions that kind of implied that they were siding with people who didn't want a woman president. Back in 1995, 21 years ago, there was a T-shirt, this T-shirt, which Walmart started selling at a Florida location. Turns out a customer complained about it, this shirt that featured a character from Dennis the Menace saying, someday a woman will be president, and complained about it, and Walmart took it down. And when some folks followed up, Walmart's statement was that it conflicted with Walmart's sense of family values. Those values being apparently that a woman's place is not in the president, not even to give them hope on a T-shirt.
A woman's place is in the House and Senate.
Nice. There were protests, and 30,000 of these shirts were ordered by Walmart after the protests to go back on sale. But they took them down at the beginning. She wanted to sell them for $10 to $15. And now, Michelle Obama, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but we'll go to the next part in a bit. But what do you think about this?
I want the shirt.
You want that shirt?
Yeah, for sure.
You want an oversized 1995?
Yeah, I absolutely want oversized for sure. Definitely like a double XL. I like my shirts big, but I would totally wear this, and it is a sign of changing times. I don't know how you have, we haven't really talked politics recently, or almost ever on this show, but I watched the DNC, I've been watching the DNC, and wherever you lie on the political spectrum, it is truly a moment that a woman could be the next president of the United States.
Right.
And that is, it's really moving to just, for girls everywhere.
I was getting emotional listening to it when they were announcing not only all the states that, in the Republican National Convention, when they were announcing the roll call, which is like, we, North Carolina, the state that grows the most tobacco. That's what the kinds of stuff that they'd say during that. But a lot of times during the Democratic National Convention, they'd be like, New Jersey, the state, only state to have 2 minority senators, the state that started the women's suffrage movement. Like that kind of stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I love this country so much.
Yeah.
And that's really the difference between the two conventions for me, is one, I watched the Republican convention and I thought, oh my God, this is not a country I want to be in. And I watched the Democratic convention and it's like, I want to be around these people because they seem to like it here.
Yeah, and you know, I think that America is such a melting pot, and I love when that is represented within our politics and our political system. And unfortunately, we don't see it enough, but I really like that we're seeing it, you know, a little. I love, like, Michelle Obama's speech. I know you mentioned her, and that's all I can think about, is Michelle Obama is the fucking man. I mean, not literally, because she is a woman, but she just rocks. She's just awesome, and I've been thinking a lot about, I've been having a lot of emotions recently.
Me too.
Hillary Clinton might be president, and whether or not you think that she should go to prison or however you feel about her, because, you know, it's true, because some people hate her and some people don't care and some people aren't going to vote or whatever. Just the fact that there is a woman that is the nominee for a major political party, that's huge. When women, you know, weren't even given the right to vote. It's a big moment, and then if it happens following 8-year presidency of Barack Obama, our first African American president, come on!
Right. The line that the Democratic Party has been putting forth
progress
is listen, don't vote for her because she's a woman. Vote for her because she's the most qualified candidate if you determine that she is.
Right.
And by the way, she is, because they spent yesterday just talking about how unqualified Donald Trump is and how much I know a scammer when I see one, and this is malarkey.
Yeah.
Everybody said the same thing.
Also, another thing to point out is that people say, well, Hillary voted for this, Hillary voted for this. And yeah, she's been in politics for so long. Of course, her positions have changed, and she's had so many things to vote on. Not everything can stand the test of time. Donald Trump hasn't voted on a single thing because he has no political experience. Other countries, my friends in Belgium are like, literally, what the fuck?
Yeah, Obama pointed that out. He's like, I just hope everyone knows that around the world, they're like, I don't understand what the hell's happening. But I think a lot of people, here's the thing. Here's what I wanted to read earlier in the intro.
Okay.
This is from Michelle Obama's
My girl.
speech.
The man.
Because of Hillary Clinton, my daughters and all our sons and daughters now take for granted that a woman can be president of the United States. That's a very specifically chosen statement.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between millennials and boomers, baby boomers, and Generation X is somewhere in the middle, in your reaction to Hillary Clinton's candidacy. Because the boomers, like my mom, I talked to her and she's like, I was the one woman in the meetings and I had to get the coffee. Like, guys did less than me, were worse at their job than I was, and got paid $10,000 a year more. And as much, I think a lot of millennials are looking around and saying, yeah, but isn't it better now to look and be like, I'm not going to make my decision. I'll back Bernie because I agree more with his policies than Hillary. And I think it's sexist to make my decision based on the gender. I think we're past electing someone because they're a woman. I think it's worth noting that, you know, whatever happened between Bernie and Hillary happened, and it's time, and Bernie himself said we need to support Hillary. But just taking a moment to think about like what your mom went through, and that's worth pointing out, you know. And it's insane to me that some people are, I don't know, there's a sexist undertone to the difference people point out between, like, you know, Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton. Like, why? Or a lot of people say that Hillary's too shrill or whatever. Yeah. But I just take a step back, and at the end of the day, don't vote for Hillary because she's a woman, but if she's the most competent candidate, vote for her, and take a minute to say, like, this is pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. And I also think it's super important to point out that if you are in the U.S. and if you can vote, it is so important to vote. Yeah. You know, this is a really major election, and if you're disgruntled about how things turned out, I think a lot of people didn't think we'd be here, but we are. And the most important thing that we can do is to just make sure that our voices are heard, and the way that you do that is vote. Favorite quote from Barack Obama last night at the DNC. Just really quick before vote. Don't boo, vote. Yeah, sorry. Love that. If you don't vote, you're rewarding the people who are least like you. Yeah. So if you don't vote, you are rewarding Donald Trump. The whole argument that, like, I'll show them, I'm going to stay silent. You didn't stay silent. You voted for Bernie or whoever in the primaries. That's the time to do that. Listen to Obama. He did such a great job of saying, we need you to keep using that enthusiasm to stick around and hold everybody to the compromises that they made. Bernie did a great job of saying, listen, this is what we got. Before the Democratic National Convention, he made a speech and he said, you know, beat Trump, yay! Vote for Hillary, boo! And he took the time in between that and his speech to realize he needed to say, okay, first of all, how are you going to beat Trump if you don't vote for Hillary? It's an impossibility. And second, here's what you've won for all your hard work. You've won tangible changes to the Democratic platform, also changes to the rules that could lead to the elimination of 2/3 of the superdelegates. So there's a lot that happened and that you should be proud of. It wasn't a waste. Yeah. I think that's what he did a good job of saying. It will be a waste if you don't show up and vote. And it will be insane. I'm sorry, this is like now where I'm like saying all the political things I've been thinking. But yeah, there's a lot. We've never talked about before on the show, and this shirt came up. I think it's a natural segue. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of problems. Important. There's a lot of problems with Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump is not the solution to any of them, and I've gone through them. You know, and so that's the problem, and it just gets proven more and more every day. Yeah. To me, and I don't really like Hillary, but I mean I like her better than Trump. And anyone who says that they're equally like terrible, that's wrong. That's wrong. And that's such a temptation for people to do. And it's a natural instinct is to say things like, you know what? You got bad people on both sides. Am I right? But you owe it to yourself and your country to go through and make a list of everything. And all the terrible things about Trump are way longer than the list of things about Hillary. Oh, yeah. And that's why I'm running for president of the studio. Brett, 2016. Also, I don't think a woman should be president. I don't think it's okay. Okay, we're gonna go. I want to try all the goodies that we have for the next video. Give us your, oh, I'm supposed to close this one out. Give us your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.